Another tough day at work today. Steve and Kirk think I suck. Throw back a few wobbly pops, feeling down on my luck. And the interns ruin every show. But it's still where we want to go. It's Mike and the Minifans. 'Cause nobody had any better plans. You want to be with DC and RA Minihane. The host can't see it's Mike and the Minifans.
Alrighty. Hello, everybody. We hope you're having a great day wherever the hell you are, whenever you're watching this. Welcome to a special edition of Mike and the Minifans, a homecoming edition to the Kirk Minihane Show Network. We are live right now, streaming across all platforms. Let's say hello to our guest, Michael Montante. How you doing over there?
Good. I'm looking around at this crew.
We got quite the hodgepodge.
Something. We got some good baseball hats going on.
Yes,
right
we
now.
do. How you doing? You good?
Yeah, good. I got in. I cut it really close, but we're here. We're good.
That's all right. That's all right. People's Republic of Coleman also joining us today. How are you?
I am excellent. Happy to be here for the first ever Mick and the Minifans. Really pumped. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. Let's say hello to Little People, Big World Guy. How are you?
Doing good, thank you. It's a pleasure as always.
When's your show going to be getting on the network soon? We're going to have to get into that.
We'll talk about it.
I like that. Professional tease. Who else we have here? Is that Curtis?
What up, Mick? How we doing?
I'm very well, Curtis. Is this your first time on a Minifan show?
It is, yeah.
Oh, well, welcome. Welcome to have you. And who else do we have here? Who else do we have in the bottom there? I can't see the name.
It says his name. It says Travis with a T.
Travis, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. It's nice to see you.
You look like Steve Robinson almost.
A little bit, yeah.
Both from Maine. Both tall. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, let's just jump right into it, fellas. We have quite a bit of topics to jump into. Obviously, the network wars, the Coleman stream, the Klemmer stuff. I think we should just jump right into the network wars, which I have to start with. Other than Kirk Minihane, probably the most prominent voice on Mike and the Minifans would be Mike Geary himself. Steve Snell. Well, nice to see you, Steve Snell. Welcome to the program. Mike Geary.
That's how you're going to greet me, Montante? What the fuck?
I mean, that's just you just emerged in your attic. Yeah. Oh, Christ is accurate.
Oh, blow me.
So we reached out to Mike Geary to get his opinion. And John, do you have the clip right now? You want to play that?
Hello to all of my friends at Mike and the Minifans, Mick and the Minifans. I just wanted to say how happy I am that the show that I started so long ago is now finally on the main network, the platform that everyone strives so greatly to be on, be a part of. It's really what anyone would want. If you were a part of Mike and the Minifans and you want to see it thrive, today is a day of celebration. It's really exciting for everyone. I know that Mick and the gang had a staff of 20 people that have been working on this since December. It's a big move that took a lot of pieces, so I'm happy to kind of see it all come to fruition. And I will also say that anyone that's been a part of Mike and the Minifans or just watched it grow over the years, I guarantee everyone is taking this in good fun and good humor and taking it all in stride. No one is having a baby hissy fit reaction to it, and everyone understands exactly what it is. And that's what I like to see most about a situation like this. So Mick and eventually BA and whoever else is part of this, I just await for Montante to take the whole network down with some sort of anti-Semitic rant. But until then, I hope you boys have a lot of fun. Godspeed.
You heard it here first from the man himself who started this program. Let me ask you, fellas, where do you stand on the network war? Are you willing to participate with the guys across the street? Are you boycotting? Let's throw it to, I'll throw it to Snell. You jumped in late. We'll throw it right to you.
Well, I mean, I think that basically what's going to happen is that a lot of the people that are jumping ship, when Kirk ends up chewing you guys up and spitting you guys out, that you guys aren't going to have a home to land on. And that's kind of how I feel about it.
So are you a middleman right now, Snell? Are you like a double agent? What are you trying to pull here?
I don't want to say I'm a double agent, but if I'm invited to be on the show, then I'm going to come on your show. But I mean, I am loyal to Menors. I mean, I haven't done one of my shows in weeks.
Yeah,
not that anyone watches the fucking thing, but
you seem loyal. You're here.
Words
You're
out of my
here.
mouth,
I mean, he took the 3 seconds out of his night to change the team mentor, so that's a nice little move. I think I don't know. I think the whole thing. I thought this network is actually going way further than I thought it would. I thought this was just a 1-day thing, but it looks like Kirk's actually committed to it. Menors is not handling it well. He's melting down. I'm hearing things behind the scenes that he's taking this terribly, which is disappointing. I don't know. I think this. I don't know. I don't want to. Good on Menors. He has Joe. He has that and her husband, but he's hanging on by dear life right now.
Are you boycotting the network? Will you participate on that network?
I think I'll go on both. If that's allowed. I don't care. Like I like both. I like both sides here. I have no real dog in the fight. I like both sides.
All right, Mikey Middleman, PRC. How about you?
I'm the same way. I have no dog in the fight. Like Menors, when I first came into the thing, was always nice to me. You guys, everybody here has been super nice to me too. So I don't know why, like, I would pick a side or anything like that. But I don't get why we can't like have like a symbiotic relationship. Like the Menors network is like the farm league, like AAA, and then news shows could go.
Menors explode.
I know, but I'm a dreamer. I don't know,
Menors being the farm league. Yeah, he just had a tantrum hearing that.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just saying there's always hope,
What about you, Little People Big World guy? How do you feel about everything?
So I'm 100% on the new network. It got me unblocked by Kirk, so my allegiance 100% falls to Kirk and the new network. That's the most important thing for me.
So you won't participate at all? Anything to do with those guys across the street?
I am supposed to be in Jeopardy coming up. I do feel like they should reinstate Justin, and I will continue to participate. But
is there a match that you did you participate in a match already that hasn't aired?
I lost, but I think I was the wild card.
Okay.
What? How did they determine? Oh, anyway.
Because people actually watch the show, Montante, and get questions correct, so they score a lot of points.
Listen here, asshole. I actually won my match. Something you can't say. Fucking.
Oh, boy. All right.
I'm going to win the whole thing.
What about you, Travis? Where are you at with everything?
I got to be honest with you. The network drama gets a little lost on me.
Interesting. Why do you say that?
The only time it ever gets brought up, it's someone trying to be Kirk or act like Kirk.
I mean, I don't think Menors is trying to be Kirk or act like Kirk, but I think it does get brought up, quite frequently. I don't know if that's your issue with it, but
all right. No, I don't care that it gets brought up. I just don't necessarily watch much of the shows, so that's why the drama is just kind of.
Not missing much.
Yeah, that's kind of what I felt, Montante.
Yeah.
Curtis?
Man, I've never network, but I always kind of had a healthy respect for Menor, just playing it as like the world's pettiest tyrant, just like the smallest possible amount of power that a man can be given and going absolutely nuts with it. So I like him being around, and I hope that that
it's a Mancoon cat just walking.
Yeah, he just does what he wants, man. I can't do anything about him, But yeah, no, it's just I'm glad Menors is around doing just crazy Australian bullshit. So I don't know, man. I hope it survives. I hope that it can find a way to kind of cohabitate with this new network. That's all.
Curtis, do you just have like a professional setup at home for fun?
No, I do a couple of podcasts. I do like a Formula One show with a buddy of mine, and I do a research driven podcast about like old race cars and stuff when I'm bored. So I have a decent little setup down here.
I was gonna say,
nice setup, yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, folks, I'm with Little People Big World guy because the rest of these guys are showing no balls whatsoever, if we're going to be totally honest. Can we just play the Menors clip from earlier before I even say anything else? John, do you have Menors? Because, I mean, this is the guy we're dealing with right now.
So BA sent me a message. He said, you're going to wake up and find out that I've jumped ship. But we all knew he was a fucking rat. Like from the beginning, we all knew these Mincel guys were just out for themselves. So how am I the loser here? Kirk has now put in charge of his network, the Mincel Intel boys. And you're telling me I'm the loser? No, Kirk's the biggest fucking loser here. He's the loser. He's stuck with all these fucking idiots on his channel now, and people, I mean, I hope Robbie V does well, but he, when people go to KMS, they're going to see that fucking retard spouting his stupid fucking picks. So yeah, I'm. The question is, have I looked inward? Of course, I've looked inward. I've looked very inward, Don the Jeweler, and you're the biggest cunt there is. All right, so look, I just want to jump on there and clear the record.
So listen, that's what you're dealing with right now. That is what you're dealing with. You listen to Kirk on the show. He's amicable. He invites these people on. He invites everybody on his network. And now you got this asshole just trying to cancel people. I don't know what the hell is wrong with you. Why would you want to participate in that? That's Nazi Germany from the 1940s.
He tried to cancel me. I was the direct target of it because you baited me into something on your show, which I don't appreciate. But listen, funny's funny. That's funny. That's a funny clip.
Crazy. But that's serious, though. He's crazy.
Oh, who the fuck is Nick?
I'm not saying I'm not, though. Listen, I'm a team player, though.
Crazy should respect crazy. Okay, that's gold. I don't want to lose Menor in this. I'm Switzerland here. I'm neutral, but I don't want to lose Menors. I love Menors. We need Menors. The network, this network would, if it doesn't have friendly competition, this network actually suffers. We need Menors.
Anybody else on Menors? Does anybody want to defend him? Does anybody? I'm just make me nauseous, to be honest with you.
My only defense is like when I watch that, it's funny as fuck. So I mean, like, it makes me laugh. So I love that.
Just his existence is fun.
Snell,
yeah,
Snell.
It's Snell. Quiet down there.
Oh, come on, dummy, let's go. You got your little handle.
What do you want from me? I already said my piece. I like Menors. I like him because he's fucking nice to me. I'll admit it. Like, he's been really good to me.
Pussy.
I am.
I got news. I got news for you. He's been the one fucking with your mailbox.
Whatever. I mean, if that's the case, that's the case. I had a talk with him. He's been really good to me, and I wanted to keep doing my stupid little show that no one watches, and I asked him for permission, and he was nice to me. So I'm gonna stick by the guy. I'm loyal, but obviously, if someone like Mick invites me on something like this, I'm gonna do it. I mean, what do you want me to say, Montante? Do you want me to shit on him? Is that what you want?
Defend your guy. I like Menors, and I
like him too.
I hope that he can withstand this because that clip right there, albeit being funny, I don't know, he might be a little closer to losing it than I would like. So I hope that he keeps his wits about him and stays doing this. He's the best. I love Menors. He can try to cancel me all he wants. You know, do your little vaccine thing, Menors. I love it.
It looks like the lack of sleep is fucking getting to him or something, because every time I see him, those bags just get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I don't know. Maybe the lack of sleep is driving him nuts. I don't know.
Does anybody think he has a point with his gripe with everything? You know, with Kirk being unfair to him. Does anybody actually agree with what he's saying, or you just think it's funny that he's crazy and a lunatic? Because I agree, he is a lunatic and it's fun to laugh at. But does anybody think he's making any sense at all?
I don't think he has a point necessarily, but I do respect him standing his ground. He's done it multiple times where he's basically been told to apologize and do this, and he's at least stood his ground. He is absolutely insane and cares way too much. But it's like Montante says, you need that. You need him caring.
Yeah. The funniest part, too, is he gets these ultimatums to give these apologies. And we're all waiting on, like for 6-7 hours. Then he finally wakes up, and then we get caught up. By the time he has to, like, give the ultimate decision, does he apologize or not, we already moved on. Yeah. That's the best part about Menor. So the time difference is fantastic.
Yeah. I just like laughing at him.
BA wanted to know this, who obviously is going to be the host of this program going forward, Mr. Barstool Advisor, who we poached right from the KMN. I would tell you this, he wants this show on this network. I guarantee you that. But he's asking, you think Menors would step away to save his network?
No,
because it's the Menors network.
All right, or what about the Kirk Minihane network? If we went back to KMN and to have everybody go back, do you think Menors would step away for the greater good?
No.
Well, I got a better question. If Kirk invited Menors onto the main channel, this channel, would Menors quit and would he come over here?
I don't think he'd quit, but I think if he got asked to host this show tonight instead of Mick, I think there's a 50-50 chance that he would do it and then go back to resuming his thing on his network. I think he's open to working with both sides. I could be totally wrong. I did reach out to him. I did reach out to him to come on the show today and asked, and he said, I'm reading it right now. He said, I am busy and I'm not sure I would anyway. Good. That's good. All right. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, there you go. Just for the record there. The rest of the guys who I asked, VD, he was traveling for work.
So I guess that's a fair excuse. McFuss Daddy said he was away from home. I think he would have came on. Beanbag Ron did not want to participate. And there was they
loyalty. I like
trying
that.
to make it as well. She couldn't make it.
Well, we ended up with 20 people, so
We ended up with a full crew. It is what it is.
Absolutely.
VD has to hate watching this and seeing all of his guys, though. That's got to be a tough look for VD.
You know, I think he's showing loyalty to that network, but I think he's going to smarten up soon and realize that this is probably where he wants to be.
So, how many shows have been on the main network this week? How many shows have aired so far?
I think just 2 of them. It's been Beyond Average and the Drips in the Office, and then tomorrow we have the KMS Rundown as well.
Have they noticed like an increase in views or anything like that, or is it pretty much the same crowd?
I mean, it's not. I don't think it's the same as a Kirk Minihane show or anything like that. But
No, but like, is it the same
more
crowd
than-
as the network?
No, way
It's
more.
more.
That
Yeah.
network's senior varsity, Snell. That's you don't want to be on there. I'm telling you, that's no good. That's the B team.
Drips in the Office, I think, got like 1,500 views this week. Like that's exponentially more than it got on the other one. I mean, well, then it's a typical show. I know that was the debut, but more than a typical show is exponentially more.
But like one of the commenters just said that was posted on the screen. I can't remember who it was. I mean, if it wasn't for Menors, we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. So
That's a good defense. Now that a boy.
Yeah, all right.
I would make the argument that if it wasn't for Kirk, we wouldn't.
Well,
yeah, I mean, yeah, none of us would be here.
Semantics. You would get in semantics, but I like Snell's point better.
I mean, Kirk does this all so we can pretend that we're important and that we're little podcasters. That's the whole reason why this whole thing exists, is to kind of just throw us a bone and let us pretend like we're important for 2 hours a night or something like that.
Little People, Big World guy. When is your show going to debut here on the network? Do you have any time frame?
We're working on locking down a roll off. I feel like it doesn't go without a roll off. So
I like that.
until I have a
Nice.
roll off,
Fair.
I don't know.
Good one.
That's,
Nice.
that's plenty fair. All right, let's jump into the streams. We'll start with Coleman's stream, the 36-hour one. What are you guys' thoughts on the entire saga? Me and Montante have talked about it already, so I'm not going to go to you first. What PRC, start us off. What were your thoughts with your boy? Are you proud of him? You kind of have to be, right?
Yes, I feel so vindicated that I started that name
What a
and
shirt.
like I was on the Fanta. Yes, thank you. But like I think it was like the first Mike and the Minifans. Someone at like Coleman had gotten in trouble. I forget what it was for, but they said, is this the end of him? And I said, let's wait to see. This is his first time being knocked down. Let's see if he's got that dog in him. And like he just proved he's got that dog in him, man. Like that was epic. Like I feel totally vindicated about that.
Travis?
I thought it was a perfect example of Kirk pulling something out of nothing. The fact that it started as just a simple question, can you do it? They had to give him probably 5 or 6 of the names, and it still took him 38 hours, and they had to give him the last name as well. It was just that's why Kirk is so fucking good.
when he mispronounced Tommy, they kind of had to give it to him there, because if they said no, he never would have went back to it. At least that's how I feel.
I was watching at that point, and I was with them at that point. I couldn't remember that it was Tommy either. It was Tomei.
Yeah,
Tome,
100.
Yeah.
I
They
still
had
don't know
said
to
that
this
name
day.
so many times over the last couple days, just going,
Correct.
he's got to
Correct.
say it. He's got to say it. And when he said it, I was like, did he say it?
Now, did anyone miss the show at all? Like, did anyone want the stream to end because
Yes.
you want the regular show to go back? Yeah, you were talking about that, Montante. Talk about that.
Yeah, just it was fun, but like if you were to quiz somebody who watched the entire thing and then show them 5 different spots of it, okay, all right, give me your timeline, like in True Detective. Where was this? They would say, I have no idea, because it all at one point it was all the same thing. So it was funny, and I like it. I like to mix it up every once in a while. But after some point, it's like, all right, Coleman, fucking just figure it out. Figure it out, you closeted good guy. Figure it out. And let's just get this thing over, and let's just go back to give me a normal 2.5-hour show. Give me Big Steve. At some point, I thought KMS was over because he was never getting it.
Yeah,
like it's funny. We talked about people are holding on hope that he's gonna see a picture of Jim Tomei and know it. He already knew he was a big white guy from the Midwest. That was gonna do nothing for him.
No, he was toast. He was absolutely toast. And I think Kirk said it best. If he wasn't sick, there's a chance that we're not doing this stream right now, and that's still going on. So
Yeah,
I agree. Travis, or not Travis, Kenny, what about you?
What was that?
Who the fuck's Kenny?
Well, what's
Yeah, we
your
don't
name?
got Kenny.
Curtis. Sorry, Curtis.
Yeah,
sorry.
Mick, they actually
So-
have their names underneath the.
That's right.
It's
I'll
like
go
all right.
petty.
Sorry, I can't read it. My
I
bad.
say nobody's
Penny.
ever come out looking better by looking worse than Coleman. Like just absolute incompetence for what 38 hours. Could not do a fucking thing. And at the end of it, everybody's just like, man, that guy's fucking great. Because he just hung in there. I mean, took his fucking lumps for a day and a half before they were finally able to bait the man into getting the right name. I think it was, difficult, man, but that can't be seen as anything but a big win, I think, for Coleman, for at least like, he's, I guess, probably made of sterner stuff than people maybe thought he was at first. He's an idiot. He doesn't know anything about fucking sports, right? But, but he can hang in there and he can be called a fucking moron for 36 hours and he's not going to fucking quit.
Let's not call them idiots. They just don't like what we like. Okay.
Like I'm not gonna pretend like I could have fucking. I probably would have gotten all 10 of them eventually.
You would
but
have.
Jim Tomey.
You're wearing a Mariners hat. You would have gotten within an hour.
I would have. Jim Tomey was the toughest one. Everybody knows Jim Tomey.
But once you get the clues of the early 2000s Indians.
Oh yeah, no. If I knew the teams for sure, but I don't know, man. Like it's hilarious watching him. What was that?
That cat won't quit.
No, dude, he's persistent. He does this every time I'm down here recording something.
Unbelievable.
I just have to work right. He's 14 years old. I just sort of like let him do what he wants.
God bless, yeah.
But big win for Coleman. Big win for Coleman.
Is he a made man as far as the Minifans are concerned now? Is everybody kind of agreeing on that?
I'm sure he could still fuck up enough to earn the wrath. But for now, he's got that.
Do you think he's viewed differently? Do you I don't remember who was just saying it. That he could hang in there now. Like I think that was in question for a while.
Yeah, I called it and said they got murdered for it. No, Coleman earned his stripes.
Right.
Is he boring on the air? Oh yeah, and there's nothing you can't fix that. But the fact he could take a punch like that was admirable. And I thought he would have outlasted Justin.
Well, Justin, a gripe I have with Justin, other than him shit talking my blankets, which I'll save that.
Does it involve Munchkins or?
Doesn't involve Munchkins, but I'll tell you right now, he got some sleep that night. The Big Bear slept that night.
Ooh.
I showed up there at 3:00, and the sun was up. I think by the time Justin rolled out of bed. So I think Coleman hung in there, and it was his challenge. So I can't really give Justin that much grief, but. Does anyone think that it was like a waste or, wasn't worth doing? Or would anyone not have gone in if you were asked, if you were in range of it?
No, I offered to go in a little farther away, but obviously it was the first night. They were saying, we need trustful people. You're not going to invite some guy you've never fucking met in there.
Yeah.
I say it would have been a great opportunity if somebody wanted to become the most hated person in the history of the Kirk Minihane show to go in there and tell Coleman the answer.
Yeah.
Well,
that would be unfucking unbelievable.
I texted Mick something along those lines.
Yep.
Oh man, Mick, you could have done it, dude.
It
would have had to have been you.
My house would have blown up.
If you get me in there in a delirious, there's a 50-50 chance. I'm just saying it. Yeah, I know, and I have enough self-aware. I know myself. No shot. I would have said it.
I was cautious of even saying baseball players. Like Coleman was coming up with names like Carlos Delgado and Carlos Beltran, like guys from that same era. And it was impossible to my brain that someone could know who Carlos Beltran is and not Jim Tomey. But I was scared to even say any player or anything. So that was my biggest fear being in there. But yeah, I think everybody would go in or at least try to go in if you were in range. I mean, it's not for everybody. I don't think it's the most exciting thing, but it's kind of like a Minifan inner circle thing. And I don't know.
Mick, can I propose a question? I know I respect you hosting, but can I propose something really quick?
Of course.
We'll go around here. Does anyone think that it was just a huge coincidence that stream happened the same day Klemmer started? We'll start with you, little people, big world. Yes or no?
No. Did you listen to the show?
I did. Doesn't mean it's true.
No.
So it wasn't a coincidence.
PRC?
No, it was 100% a coincidence.
What? So
yes, it was a coincidence. Yes, it was a coincidence.
You actually think that?
Yes.
You get numbered by the minute. PRC.
No, I don't think it was a coincidence. I think
you.
it was brilliant, but it wasn't a coincidence. So
the big take here lies with Travis. Travis, break the ice. Break. It's 1-1.
I don't think Kirk went into it knowing that's how he was going to do it, but I think he didn't really mind that he stole some of Klemmer's shine at all. And I think he did want to. Yeah. And then as soon as he stumbled into the home run hitters, he was like, oh yeah, this is 100% gonna work.
Agreed. That's the right take, Kyle or Kenny. Whatever the fuck? What did you call him, Kyle?
Right.
Kenny.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we'll go Kenny. Thanks, Josh. I like it. Yeah, I can't imagine he started the show that way, but I think once the opportunity presented itself,
Yep,
it was
100% right.
Kind of a happy accident, I guess. That he was
He
able
walked
to sort
into
of,
it and he took the
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he found a vehicle to get him. I could see that having been like in the back of Kirk's head.
Yeah, if I get the opportunity, we're gonna pounce on it.
Yeah, wanting to fuck with Klemmer in some way because he's doing this fucking thing and not knowing anything about it. So, and then just sort of, just steering the ship as he does.
But respect Klemmer enough to get out of it and let him finish strong.
Yeah. Which
So that almost sounds like you're saying that it was, he anticipated doing it before the start of the show.
I think in the back of his mind, if the opportunity presented itself, pounce.
He wanted to fuck with Klemmer's stream, and as soon as that happened and it started to take off, he knew it was something.
Snow?
So I don't know. I kind of agree with Curtis or Kenny. Curtis, that's what your name is, right? So
it's Kenny now.
Yeah.
I'm Kenny forever.
And I know Kirk said this on, I think it was the Unnamed show with Portnoy and Whitney, and it's not like a new take, but Coleman is the one that benefited the most from the Klemmer stream.
1,000,000%.
If Klemmer wasn't doing this wouldn't have been as great. And Klemmer's failures really helped Coleman in this instance.
I would agree with that. Especially the way Klemmer kind of turned out.
Host, what is your overall? Do you think it's a coincidence or not?
I think he took an opportunity to pounce on it. I don't think he woke up that day trying to screw with Klemmer's stream. I think
if Klemmer's stream is not happening that day, do we get what we had last week? No.
I think so. Yeah, I do.
You're fucking demented. So there's a 1 in 1,800 chance that would happen. Okay.
I'm not saying he would he definitely knew it was going to fuck with Klemmer a little bit, and it didn't stop him from doing it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't think he woke up that day and was like, all right, I'm going to do this.
I agree, but what I asked you was, if Klemmer does not do that stream, does that happen? You said yes.
Yeah, I think it does. All
right.
No, does anybody else? Is that crazy?
Just you and Little People Big World. He's trying to get back in the good graces.
All right. Let's talk about Klemmer's stream then. Overall, did Portnoy go too far? How do you feel about everything? Like, I guess in general, is this a win for Klemmer?
Somehow, yeah.
It's to you first, Montan. Sorry.
I'll be quick. I think Portnoy, he's getting back to his old school roots of like having like good instincts and acting on them. It was incredibly boring. If you actually watched it, it was. I don't know how anybody could do it. This was the best outcome for Klemmer, where this goes down in Barstool lore, which will help his legacy and help his job security. But yeah, if someone was watching this like not like continuously, you're out of your fucking mind. You're torturing yourself. This was the best thing to happen for Barstool and Klemmer.
PRC?
Yeah, it was the best thing to happen for Klemmer, and it was Dave's doing. Like, he saw that the stream. I checked in like before Dave shut it down, and it was, it had like on YouTube 400, 500 viewers and stuff like that. And then I think like when Dave shut it down and built all that buzz around it and stuff like that, it's the best thing that could happen. And it ended up being a win for Klemmer for staying too. But it wasn't really solitary confinement, but that's another story for another day. But yep.
Travis?
I think right now it's a good thing. If he, in the next few days, keeps trying to use this and as a method to keep his name out there, I think people will sour and start to say, all you did is sleep. You didn't do the puzzle. You didn't do this. You basically quit at everything they tried to get you to do. And that's when the haters will come out. I mean, they're already out there, but it's just, it's good for right now. His name's out there, but I don't know if being that boring is necessarily something great in the content company.
It's fair. Little People, Big World there?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a win for Klemmer now. I had no interest in it and didn't watch until it got the buzz that it got with the Unnamed show and Dave. So it's a win. We're talking about it. People are talking about it. So
now, is that during the stream? Like, you didn't want to just watch him sleep? Because I was curious before it started, but then when he was just sleeping, I didn't really have much interest until the drama built up.
I had zero interest at all.
I had interest in the very beginning. It was Monday, yeah. Had interest in the beginning. I was watching it, and then I kept seeing that Kirk was still live. So I went in to see what the hell was going on, and I was one of those people like 4 hours in that asked, "Hey, what's happening?" And I would switch back to Klemmer, and he'd just be writing down stats from that baseball encyclopedia. And then I'd go back to a man sitting in a chair while Justin sang center field going, Davidson. And that was more entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
no, it was quite a saga. Go ahead, Snow.
So one of the things about what I think it was Travis was just saying a few minutes ago
Sorry.
about what was that?
Sorry, I just had some sound go up. My bad. Go ahead.
Oh, I think one of the things that Travis was saying about how it was kind of like a win. Dave Portnoy kind of jumped in to try to make content out of it because he could see that it was an awful stream. I don't know if it's necessarily a total win for Klemmer, though, because I think when Dave Portnoy is shitting on you that much and he sees that you're not contributing anything, and the biggest thing for Klemmer was giving up on those challenges, I think really hurt him. I think in the future it's going to really fuck him in the long run. Honestly,
That's a terrible take. That's a terrible take.
Why?
You could line up the people who Portnoy pays, who are quote unquote content people, and he can name a third of them. He could pick Klemmer out of a 5,000 person lineup. That's a good thing. Whether it's there's no such thing as bad publicity. I think that kind of exists right here. Whether it's the dummy out of Mississippi who said the N-word during Bone Thugs and Harmony, or it's Klemmer. This is a good thing. This is good content. This was a great outcome for Klemmer. Klemmer has a job at Barstool as long as he wants it.
Yeah,
as a result of this.
What do we
He
kind of
didn't
know
make
about
the content. Dave
Yeah,
made
I
it.
don't. Yeah, Dave made the content, right?
And I think
but he had something to cook. He had something to work with. Those other guys, he can't just pick just an absolute zero out of New York and make a fucking thing trend like that. It had to be Klemmer. Klemmer fucking has absolute he's untouchable now at Barstool. Great week for him.
The win for Klemmer is the fact that everyone else in New York was doing nothing watching Klemmer. And
Right.
they
Yes.
saved the stream, and they
At
still
least he
did
was
nothing.
fucking trying.
That's
Do
the win
you-
for Klemmer.
Does Klemmer have a gripe with anything? Should he be mad at anybody? Should he be mad at Kirk at all? Do you think he should have any, or Portnoy at all? I know he was trending, but I think a lot of people think that it was unfair. I don't think it was really unfair. I mean, keeping it in there longer than they could have, that probably would have been too much. But other than that, he could have left.
He has enough self-awareness to where he won't come out and say it, but if you give him truth serum, he knew he just hit a grand slam. He knows it.
But this goes back to what I was trying to say. He originally didn't really like being the butt of the joke on KMS, right? Wasn't that kind of like a? So I mean, when you're working, that's all it was. That's all this turned into, right?
I'll
I
be
think
able
you
to
know
love my
the
shit if
difference
you
is
give
a
me
paycheck.
salary.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Little people, big world. Now he's getting paid for it. Now he can tolerate it.
That's a good point.
Now it's a career.
But do you think he feels the type of way about it? If you like you said, to the truth serum, because I think you're right. He knew he hit a grand slam, but do you think it kind of bugs him at all?
If he were asked, hey, would you rather be streamed the whole time and not go trending and not have this big movement, or would you rather have what actually happened? He would take plan B every time.
It was the best possible outcome for him. It was never going to be a good, entertaining 100-hour long fucking stream. It wasn't going to happen. He quit on the challenges. He wasn't going to do anything. What Dave ended up doing with him was the best possible outcome for Klemmer. And the thing Klemmer has going for him is ultimately Portnoy really doesn't have a lot of power over him. If Portnoy fires Klemmer, Klemmer's kind of fine, and he doesn't give a shit. That's why Klemmer is able to do this kind of shit, even though it's a fucking content zero, but Portnoy ends up making something out of it. So
I feel like there were better outcomes, though. Had he done the challenges, had he at least tried, people get engrossed by just watching someone lose their fucking mind.
No shot. Travis, I'm a Travis guy as of like 20 minutes ago. No shot. You think people care if he counts rice?
I bet you people would have liked to see the fly bit that they were planning. I would have loved to
wanted
fucking see
watch
that.
him try the puzzle. I think in 8 hours he could have done the puzzle, and at that point, yeah, I would have watched him count the rice. I wouldn't have watched him the entire time, but I definitely would have checked in more.
He inadvertently played it perfectly, which is not his intent of just sleeping and being boring as possible. Got the intrigue of the bigwigs, which actually plays perfectly in his favor. That was never intentional. That was never his plan.
Arguing. This way,
if he was actually like awake and doing stuff and doing puzzles and rice, nobody would give a fuck. He never trends. His job might be in jeopardy if he did all the challenges.
No, I just think more people would have watched the stream had he done the challenges,
No
gotten
shot.
less publicity, but the stream would have been more entertaining.
So Montante, like, what do you think? What do you think Klemmer's next step is with all this clout that you think he just gained? Like, what does he do from here?
Just keep doing what you're doing. Be like the little officer, be a little office manager there. Just go along to get along, and every 6 months go viral for something weird. Be the butt of Dave's jokes like Smitty is. That means job security. That means you're not going anywhere. And they get a creative idea once a year. Try to capitalize it. And he has, I'm telling you, he has a contract for life.
But is he making any money for the company?
No, but if Dave likes you, you have a job for life.
I think if you're an OG Barstool guy, that's true. I don't know if that's
He's-
true for Klemmer's case.
He's now in the same category as them because of what happened today. That's a part of Barstool's legacy. I'm telling you.
You really
Telling
mean you think he's got a job for life there?
For life, unless he has a smaller leash than Mincy, but he has a job for life. He ain't going nowhere.
I think he royally fucked up by not letting Mincy go in that room with him. That would have been a big help for the stream. I think it would have been better for Mincy.
Mincy would have get the shine. Clemmer wouldn't. Clemmer,
yeah, that's a
going
good point.
Solo,
That's a good point.
Clemmer going solo. The spotlight was on him. He played it perfectly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Great week for Clemmer. Great week.
And he
Montante, big Klemmer guy.
Big Klemmer guy, despite their fantasy baseball.
I'm showing solidarity right now with him. With his stupid Expos hat that I own for no reason.
You're not going to rep your real team.
Do we count it as? Are we counting it as 4 days of solitary confinement? Obviously, it wasn't true solitary confinement, but do you count the challenge as a win for Klemmer? Not in the grand scheme of how the public views it, but the actual challenge, because he did break the door thing. You know, there was a lot of controversy with the cameraman. Are we counting this? Because I mean, Coleman's thing had a little controversy. I think Klemmer's is much more controversial. The ending.
I have a 2 and a 4-year-old. I would trade places with him and do this 100 times over. I love my kids, but 4 days alone.
4 days of quiet would be nice.
Yeah.
Are you asking was that solitary confinement? Would you classify that as solitary confinement?
No, I'm asking, did he complete the challenge of what he was going for? I don't think anybody agrees solitary confinement because he had people sliding stuff and whatever. But did he complete the challenge that he set out for?
No, he walked out like 5 hours earlier.
Yeah.
So technically, no, he did not complete the challenge. So
there was a lot of rumors. A lot of people thought that he might have known what time it was. Did anybody think that?
So it was a chance, but I
just based off his reaction with the food at the end. That was a lot of people were saying, he knew it was lunchtime.
I think he definitely knew, because if you have a normal sleep schedule, but you have no access to a clock, you have no windows, you're going to lose track of time. He was sleeping 24/7 and still knew what day it was.
He didn't have a job for 3 years before Barstool. He fucking slept all the time.
No, not in the day like that. That's like, I don't know what behavior. That's like,
dishes only take so long, bud.
No, dude, that's crazy. He had his wits about him for the most part. He didn't know the exact time, but he knew way more than he should have. I don't know. There's no way. If I lose track of time for 6 hours, I'm gone for a week. I don't know where I am. I don't know what planet I'm on. He did that fucking seamlessly. He had to have somebody in his ear keeping him updated. No way around it.
He's going to hear people in the office though throughout the day and all, so he's going to realize close to what time it is.
That's a good point. All right, this is day 2. People just left. Okay, that's a great point. That's an unbelievable point.
When did he figure out the whole camera wasn't moving for him thing, and then it started following him again? When did that start? Did you guys see that?
I think it was following him the whole time. It just wasn't being shown to an audience.
Right, but then it stopped following him. He made a comment about how it started following him again, and he kind of picked up on the fact that it wasn't following him for a little while. So I don't know if maybe that gave it away. I have no idea.
I guess last thing on the Klemmer, what did you make of the leak in, I guess, that whole thing? Did anybody see that coming? I know it wasn't.
No, I respect you. He just presented a question beyond that, and he just fucking just.
I didn't hear him. Sorry, Snell. I didn't hear your question. I thought you wrapped it up. My bad. Sorry, Snell.
No, it's all right. No, keep going. That's right.
Yeah, now we can't answer.
What was the question, Snell? I feel bad. What was your question?
No. Go ahead. Go keep going.
Now I feel bad, Snell. I'm sorry. What did you make of the leak? Is really what I was getting at. Like the whole thing. Do you think there's any chance it was intentional? It doesn't sound like it based off how it went down, but they were also trying to communicate with Klemmer with the bowling ball thing and all that. Like I don't know.
I just thought it was funny to see Portnoy lose his fucking shit.
Great video.
When you talk about old school Milton days, I'm sure there are more than a few moments like that weren't broadcast on camera. And I don't know if you guys, obviously you probably have seen it, but him just losing it on everyone, just on the phone Gaz, on the phone Keegs, on the phone Gia. It was fun.
All right, we'll get away from Klemmer then. Let's get more KMS here. We got a bunch of 2024 live shows coming up. Portland's coming up. I know the Easter weekend has been controversial with the tickets and all that. A lot of people aren't going to be able to make it. Talks about that. What are your predictions with the 2024 live shows? Are they going to hit everything that they've talked about on the show? Or are they going to go all the way to Washington? I think it is the furthest they're going. Does all this happen?
Well, we've been here before, right? We've had these types of talks before about all these trips and all this stuff, and they never really came to fruition. I'm not saying that's the case now, but history would say that a lot of times these things kind of fall by the wayside.
I think they knock out a patch. I don't know if they do 12 shows in 12 days or whatever it is, but I think they knock out a piece of it, whether it's the Midwest or the West Coast.
Yeah. I mean, Kirk definitely seems committed to it and excited by the idea, and with the producers and having their RV or whatever. If that does happen, I think it would be great, great content for KMS. But what about you, Little People Big World guy?
Well, I don't think he guaranteed it all in 1 year, did he? I don't think he said
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he didn't. I thought that was just talked about for 20.
I'm under the impression that he did.
He may have at some point, but
I thought that was the plan.
Doesn't mean he's serious.
A year. I mean, there's a shit ton of shows. It sounded like a lot when he proposed it, but.
Right. I mean, when they talked to Sheldon the other day, and it seemed like they have communicated a little bit about it. So I have faith in Kirk.
PRC?
I just hope they come to the Midwest, somewhere that's not 15 hours away from me. I would love to just head on over to a live show and stuff like that. So I think if they did the road trip, it would be great content. If they don't, I just hope they bring a live show somewhere near me.
Kenny?
I could see them paring it down a little bit, because I mean, he has how many shows does he have listed? Like, he's got like 30 fucking locations, so I mean, they mapped it out, going, kind of out west. If anybody can do it, Kirk can do it, but I wonder how much, because I'm sorry, somebody had just said, like, Travis, it might be you, said like it hadn't come to fruition when they put it out there in the past. I don't know if that was a Cullinane thing where he didn't have faith in it getting done, and maybe feels a little bit better now with, I don't know why he would, with Coleman and Justin, but it's, I don't know, he can certainly do it. I mean, we know Kirk will go cross country just because he fucking feels like it, so I don't think it will be all of the places listed just because he has so fucking many. I don't know how you do that many goddamn live shows, but I could see it being a pared down, go cross country, 10, 15 shows over the course of 3 weeks or something like that. That doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility to me.
Yeah, especially as he says, they're not full-blown productions. They're going to be the show in different states where the locals
show in different places. It's not the Wilbur. It's not, State Theater or something like that. It's, we're sitting down, we're doing KMS at this place for like 15 people, and then we're moving on. I mean, it's a lot easier for them to do.
He does like the open road. He does like to torture Justin and Coleman. So it's a realistic possibility.
He did do Papagino's, and he did do Delaware this year. So.
Right. And he got Portland in 2 weeks. What's your? This is kind of similar along the lines, because at the live show, sometimes it's a little bit different than the actual show. What is your favorite type of KMS? Like, is it when it's controversial and people are yelling at each other? Is it when you're laughing? Is it the performance aspect, kind of at the live show? I'm actually curious to get people's take on this, because I think it's a different answer for just about everybody. PRC, what about you?
I like when it's very localized, and Kirk and them are just kind of vibing and talking about what's going on in their lives and some of the things around them. And it's really, I like it more hyper local than a global aspect when I watch. That's my favorite type of the KMS.
Hyper local is in like the network drama and stuff like that, or just like local for what's going on in KMS? Just
local in general. It can't be the network and people around. Yeah, they're like the inner circle people and just kind of what's going on behind the scenes, stuff like that. More so, and I kind of like learning about your areas and like the Madawaska a few years ago. I was learning about Madawaska and all that shit, and that just seemed like cool as fuck. I wish I lived over there. So,
Yeah. Montante?
That was your takeaway. You wouldn't live in Metal. All right.
I do. I like weird places, man. It's just, I mean, I wouldn't want to live there forever, but go explore it. It's the most northern town in America. Like,
Montante's
it's way
a
different
bully.
than where.
No, it's quite a takeaway. If you want to live in Maine, you'll turn out like fucking Snelly over there. I like what got me into KMS, which was obviously they had a right wing angle earlier with Steve, but I actually like Kirk's. I think for the most part, when Kirk is talking about real world stuff, which is not as much nowadays, he actually is kind of the voice of reason when it comes to the middle class. Like, if Kirk is saying he really thinks like Trump is going to win the election, I think that's like most of like the people who are undecided, because he really is as down the middle as you can. He pretends to be not a Republican; he's a libertarian. But I like that aspect. But then I got drawn in by that. Now I'm paying attention to all the stupid shit we're watching. Coleman at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
List random names, but that's my favorite KMS. So like for now, this era 3.0. Like when he has a Steve Robinson in, or he has somebody in, even when it's Mutt and they touch briefly on I'm always tuned into that. And if we're not talking about politics, I'm laughing about something in between. That's my favorite version.
Snell?
My favorite parts of KMS is like when Kirk finds these random bits and he just goes all in, whether it's like Montante said with the Coleman thing, or even when he calls up his old phone number the first time he did that, and he was talking to that fucking lady who died of cancer, like all that random shit. That's my favorite parts of KMS. Love the prank calls we used to get and the parody songs we used to get. All that shit. I love the good, all the good like Boston wars that he starts with Kevin Cullen and kind of exposing all that hypocrisy. That's kind of like the old school WEEI Kirk Minihane that comes out as well, and I like that part of KMS.
Snell, did you have a question before I move on? I don't want to.
No, sir. I'm good. Thank you for offering, though. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Travis, how about you?
I like the world and the whack packer shit. I like how we can get something out of nothing. You look back on it. No offense, Montante, Snell. You guys have been on. Hey, shut the fuck up for a second. He's brought in 100 people in the last year. That's probably a large amount, but he balances them well. Even if they're a drip, he can get something out of it. Yellow shirt guy. We know who that is because he came in and Kirk was like, well, I'm going to fucking railroad this dude. Montante, you go in. You're funny because he knows that you want to talk about right-wing stuff.
That's better.
Justin,
That's better.
He knows that he's a great guy, but he's kind of a boob, so he can fuck with him. It's again to the prank callers. You get the good days, you get the bad days. The President Trump, the drunk Greg Hill, back when they first started taking him, even dealing with the different producers, Steve, Cullinane. He even got something out of Gus. It was a rough week when you put yourself in Gus's shoes and you listen and you go, this guy's not going to be okay, but he is because it's Gus. But I like that no matter what happens or who's in there, like I'm probably going to fucking laugh because of it. And I'm not going to know why or when, but I'm listening and I fucking die.
So you find humor out of a producer getting tortured? I do as well. I'm not saying it's a bad thing about it. Some people think it's they'd rather just see the actual laughs, and they can't laugh. There were some people thinking it was too much with Gus. I saw that going around.
No, and I agree. Near the end of that week, there was too much with Gus. But when you were in there and you walked out, no offense, when he goes, "Hey Mick, get me a water," I fucking laughed because I go, he did that just to fucking piss him off, and 10 seconds later, boom, what's happening?
Yeah.
Do you guys think if Kirk could take a little time machine, does he that night in Saco? He hires Coleman. I don't think that changes at all. Do you think he hires Gus?
Yeah, I don't think he has. I don't think Kirk has regrets. I don't think he deals with shit like that. I think he makes a decision and he just rolls with it. If it doesn't work out, it just doesn't work out.
I disagree. I actually think he hires our host for the night. I think Mick gets the job.
Me?
If he had. Yeah,
you dummy. What are you talking about? We've been through
this.
Yeah.
I don't
Montante.
I don't mean to do this to you, by the way. This is me speaking,
not at all.
not Kirk. This is me, not Kirk, okay? I think the fact that he fired him and he hates firing people within 4 months, I think if we go back to that fateful night in Saco, Maine, I think Mickey gets the job over Gus. But
Even
So
though
is
he's
he-
wearing a turban.
In your hypothetical, is he aware of
I know.
everything that's going on?
Okay. All right.
yeah, I'm saying like right now, if he could go back in the time machine tonight and go back, does he change it? I think he does.
I disagree with that. I don't think
If he, well, all right.
Very-
So, but
very
if he
humble.
knows that Justin will then come back,
Yeah,
in a
he has
month.
everything.
you
Which
know,
is my
it,
point.
Oh,
Which is my
true,
point.
true.
so
Good point.
so was it worth hiring Gus
Kenny's good.
just for the?
Kenny's good to get to Justin. Kenny,
Yeah.
good point.
What was it? Was it worth it just for the for the Gus ride?
You're saying the end goal.
strong
The end
point.
goal of
That's a
having
strong-
Justin and Coleman is you're
Right,
saying
that is a strong point.
Did
Yeah.
Justin only come back because he saw he could do much better than Gus at the things that Kirk likes, and he wouldn't get yelled at as much?
These
he
are
had
all
the
good
fear of
points.
missing
These
out.
are all really good points.
It's also.
Yeah,
he
I'm
was
curious.
managed-
I'm curious with Justin because he actually came on Beyond Average, not trying to plug it. He came on Beyond Average not long before he took the job, and I had asked him, like, why do you not want, why do you not want to produce? And he had mentioned a couple different reasons. I'm just curious what had changed in such a short amount of time. And maybe he had a conversation with Kirk, and that's all he needed to feel comfortable, or something.
Well,
like that.
that there was going to be two guys.
What's that?
If Justin was just going to be the guy, he would be the target of literally all of Kirk's ire all the time. So
And the
because-
Minifans.
yeah,
Episode
absolutely.
doesn't
So
go up,
because you have
sound doesn't
Coleman
sound
there,
good.
it's going to be split up a little bit. I think that because he was interested when he thought he was going to be producing with Cullen.
Mhm.
So that was what he thought that Kirk was originally offering him. And then when it was just going to be Justin, I don't think he was interested in that.
You sound
So
like
I-
Smitty.
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea what Smitty sounds like. He sounds great though.
Oh shit.
Yeah, now you hear it. You sound
Yeah.
identical to Smitty, but
Oh man, poor fucking Smitty.
I can't unhear it now.
Muppet.
It's
Well, I think maybe with Justin, I think he maybe looked at Coleman and saw he can help him out with like the business professional side. I'm not trying to say Justin's not a professional. I think he is. He's very capable, and as he's gotten older, he seemed to mature a little bit. But I think he likes to do the, more of the bit stuff and the kind of the stuff, the stuff of showing up places with a camera. Like I think once he saw that was going to be his not role, his only role, but kind of what he was going to be good at. I think that might have changed things, kind of like you're saying.
One of the things we're all forgetting, though, is I think one of the key things for Justin was when it didn't work out with Big Cat. I think that shortly after that didn't work out, he joined KMS. So I think
What do
that
you
had a
mean
big
didn't
part
work
of
out?
it as well.
You're saying
But
didn't
also,
work.
Justin's great at doing the things that Kirk was harping on Coleman and Gus to do. The only thing, to my memory, is they went and did the walk from his name's slipping me, but he couldn't go to his wedding, and he was like half a mile away in the hotel.
Damian Billerica.
Yeah, they went and filmed that. That was like their content. Justin
I got
knows how to
news.
do that content piece.
I agree to a point, but we said this the other day on Beyond Average. Check it out, Beyond Average podcast, great show. You got Mick, you got cousin Christian, you got all types of superstars over there.
People
But-
saying anti.
What a plug.
Every now and then, like you, but go ahead. Yeah, that's all
That's
right.
how you do it. No, yeah, you gotta keep it. You gotta be honest, right? No, he does have a soft spot for Justin, where Justin can go to a movie in a stupid top hat, dressed like an asshole, and put out the worst content known to mankind. Go into the show the next day, and it be a 5-minute bit. Whereas if poor little Augustus did that, that's a week worth of shows.
Right.
So,
But
he
doesn't that
is-
kind of defeat the point that you just made?
No,
Well,
I'm saying he's Justin is like he's like the child. He's the child of KMS. So we all get. I'm just saying, like Gus was in a tough spot. That's all.
What was that? So now you're saying
He kind of buried himself into that spot too. He could have came in and Justin's been around the entire time.
Yeah.
He could have known exactly what Kirk meant when he said, "Yeah, I'd like some fun content for the show. Do this, do that," and gone back and fucking. He's been a huge fan. No offense to Gus, but like he knows the kind of shit that gets talked about on the show from a content perspective.
Blind Mike's daddy and buddy fired Augustus. So let's take everything. Let's look at.
Have
this
they
thing.
interviewed
Yeah,
Tom Brady?
come on.
I don't think so.
That he really is like the retarded Forrest Gump. It's remarkable.
staggering some of the things he accomplished. It really is.
While accomplishing nothing,
Yeah,
he's
it-
accomplished everything. It's
It really is.
unbelievable.
How would you guys rate Justin's performance since he's been back with KMS full time.
Snell, you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to stock up, stock down next, and I was going to say producers. Me and Snell are thinking alike tonight. Snell, you might have to host. You start with it. Where are you at with it? Where are you at with Justin, Coleman in the show? Stock up, stock down. We'll start with those three.
I mean, I'm always a big fan of the show. I'm always going to love the show no matter what. I'm a Kirk Minihane dick rider, so that's just how I'm always going to be. Coleman, obviously, we just talked about earlier.
What a disclaimer.
Coleman, obviously, we just talked about. Coleman's stock for me is way up because he just toughed it out on that stream and kind of out Klemmer a little bit. Justin, I think it was Montante was talking about earlier. I don't know how I feel about some of the content Justin has made kind of on his own. I do feel like if Gus did it, he'd be getting a lot more shit than Justin did, like cleaning out the car and stuff. Now, I admit Justin would make that more enjoyable and more funny than Gus, but I think it's a fine line.
All right, Travis?
Sorry, I get distracted.
What a dramatic pause. I love that. All right.
I got distracted with the car and the cleaning stuff and thinking about Gus's fucking dirty bedroom. And the only reason he did that was because Kirk told him to do it. Stock up, stock down. I like them both. I think it's a good balance of a little bit of seriousness.
Do you remember what the question was?
He has no clue. I love it.
No idea.
He's doing a good job of working his way through it.
He read the bibliography, and I'm asking what chapter 3 is. He has no idea.
The thing about stocks is,
was it not stock up or stock down?
No, not really. Little people, big world.
We're 100% talking stock up and stock down.
I know.
Go ahead.
Play along, little people, big world. Jesus Christ.
I think it's a good mix for the show right now. I think near the end of Steve, everything was too serious. Again, you liked it. It was, very political, not necessarily my cup of tea. With Dave, it turned into dicking around, and 45 minutes to an hour in, he just wanted to take calls. Oh. So now they try. Kirk knows that he's got to get something out of them because they're both who they are.
Yeah,
I think him being older than both of them, and he knows what stage of their life they're in, he's more willing to push that boundary than, say, a Steve, who he acknowledged was accomplished, did a lot in his life, and then Dave, who he put up with.
Yeah, a little people, big world guy. What about you?
Yeah, so I'm definitely stock up on Coleman right now. He's been doing well. I will always love Justin. Justin's been phenomenal since he came back.
That was not the
huge stock up on Justin. He took a job away from Montante, so I'm.
There it is.
little people, big world guy. I wasn't going to bring up his weight, but now I got no choice.
Pot meet the kettle.
Well, listen, I'm 5'10", 250. I'm a slim 250 though, so it's me. I look like a fucking asshole. Me cutting my hair. Don't do that. Shut the fuck up, little people, big world guy. But no. Let's go back to what you were saying before, because I love Justin. I think he'd be the first to admit it. He is, some of the content he's putting out right now is not Justin's right now. He's a little bit of a fog. Some of the content he's putting out, and he even says it. As soon as he puts it out, he's like, "I know this stuff. This sucked." He's in a little bit of a fog, I think, right now.
What specifically?
Some of it hasn't been great, but some of it has been pretty good compared to what we've seen from other producers.
I think it's helped.
What have you guys be specific? I want to know exactly what because I feel like some videos have landed. I wasn't too crazy on the room cleaning video or anything like that.
I still, the room cleaning video is okay. I don't get him showing up to the movie dressed like Willy Wonka. Like what? Who's this benefiting?
He's a young single guy out on the town.
How he looked good,
and that's how you remain a young single guy out on the town. It's just like Willy Wonka going to AMC.
You didn't think the popcorn video was funny with the?
That was funny.
Spoon?
Yeah, that was good.
And he picked the popcorn up off his stomach with the spoon.
With the security guard too at the Globe or wherever it was. That was great. That was fun.
That was a good one.
That was really good.
He's yelling, "I'm taking a day." That was actually pretty good. All right, Kenny, what about you? I don't think I asked you.
Stock up on Coleman. Obviously, I think you said that earlier. Stock neutral on Justin.
This is unbelievable.
I know. Look, man, and I'm not gonna do about it at this point, Mike. Stock neutral on Justin because I think a lot is expected from Justin. Justin is the gold standard, as Gus said. We were all, I think, you're expecting Justin to come back and kind of light the world on fire. He's been really, really good. Like I like Justin a lot, but stock neutral on Justin, stock up overall on the show. I think the show's been great.
PRC?
I'm heavy on NVIDIA. I recently purchased 34 shares of that. KMS, the show, stock up. Appreciate Kirk for coming in and doing the flu game. Thank you, Kirk. Coleman, stock way up. Justin, stock neutral. I don't think it's down. I appreciate him doing content and all that stuff. Some of it doesn't hit my algorithm, but still, I appreciate him doing it. Justin and Coleman as a pair, I'd say stock way up. When Coleman got it and they had that moment, that was pretty magical. So overall, stock's way up.
How about just third chairs in general? Who are some of your favorite third chairs? Some of you can't stand when they go in there. Is there anyone that you click away from if you see that it's coming in there? I feel like no one in this panel is going to be like that. But Snell, lead us off.
I like it when Montante's in there because I think Montante's pretty good on the show. And even when he sucks on the show and he kind of snaps, I like when Kirk kind of gets him going. I actually think Mick's really good on the show. Again, when he fucking snaps, that's the best. I like the more stable people like that. I like the people that are more, they have better takes than someone like I would have, for example. You know, Montante, when he's on there, he can give takes. He can articulate himself very well. Don't let it go to your big fat head, Montante.
Too late, pal.
But no, I like the guys that kind of can go in there that they fit almost like their Barstool personalities. Almost.
I'll take the compliment. I won't say I'm stable, Snell, but I'll appreciate the compliment. That being said, is there anybody that you don't like that is in there?
I mean, it's not that I don't like them. Obviously, there are some people that come in that are better than others, but I think it also takes time. You know, you like you two, for example, you guys speak on microphones a lot, and I think that is what kind of helps. I know when I went in there, I was fucking terrified. You know, I'm terrified just thinking about it.
Montante? Sorry.
I know you're good. I was mid-sip number 4,000 of the night. Don't worry about it. Bad. Let's get out of the way. Gig is horrific. If we could never do that again, that would be fine by me. Great on Twitter. I love, and it's probably a fault of mine. I love Steve from Gloucester. I love the way he speaks. I love just following his brain where he's like trying to be entertaining, go against the grain, but he's just such a pussy that he just always goes with Kirk, whatever they're saying, and just over analyzing everything. I love Steve from Gloucester, and I think
Gloucester.
Oh, shut up, you guys. And then I was very high on John from Warren. Did I say that right, dummies?
Yes, you nailed that.
I was very high on him, and he's coming to fruition. I think he's great, but Patrick Ford's fantastic. Obviously, Mutt. You're gonna have your Mutt. I don't put Mutt and Mike. I exclude them. I'm talking about other people who aren't. Give me Patrick Ford once every other. Give me
so
every other week.
Mutt's in that category. I definitely would exclude Mike. Mutt's, you're saying in the same category?
Yeah, because I never honestly grew up in New Jersey. I listened to ESPN New York, Michael Kay show, and Larry Hardesty. I can tell, like, if you gave me all the episodes, I didn't know anything. I could pinpoint Mutt for doing shows with him for a living. Mutt's different. He's the next level. The way they go back and forth. So I'll exclude him. I'll put him there with Blind Mike. Patrick Ford's fantastic, but that was a great show with the drips in there. That was an unbelievable show.
It was. Was it Friday, last or Thursday, whenever that was before the what about you, Kenny?
I like the Montante shows. Like I said, there's nobody that I disagree with more politically than Mike Montante, but I always like when he's on the show. He's funny. Makes some good points. I am a Pat Ford guy. Because he sort of stays out of the way. You know, he knows he's, the third chair there. He's, the show's not about him. He does a good job. So those are, and I gotta say, Mayo actually grew on me a bit. I hate it, dude. Like,
good take.
The first time he was ever on the show, it was the first show I could not get through. It was in the entire history of the Kirk Minihane show. I couldn't listen to the fucking show.
Yeah.
But I think the second or third time, he was basically
fine. He won you over. I was the same. That's a great
shut
take.
The fuck up. He has way too many fucking questions. I want him to shut the fuck up most of the time, but he's basically fine. He's
So you think men can get pregnant, but we agree with the takes that Andy Mayo got great. I don't
think he said that.
Guy, man.
I heard the same thing.
Guy.
Jesus Christ,
We'll get on
Montante.
the same page.
Travis, what about you?
Obviously the staples, the Mutts, the the blind mics, like Montante said, they're on a different level. But I've said it the whole show. I like how Kirk can get something out of someone. If they're good, he'll have them back in. If they're not, they go away. It's good if he's got a new guy in with someone like Mike or Mike. But again, the fucking Drip Lord show and the faucet last Friday, awesome.
No,
he knows what the fuck he's doing. He knows when he gets the yellow shirt guy in that it's not working. Pivot. And I guess the only thing I don't like is, if he's got two new guys in and they both suck and he can't get anything out of either one of them, then it just turns into.
I feel like we haven't had that in a while.
No, we haven't. I think
the days I was comatose in there, you could probably argue it. I was kind of just sitting there watching you guys talk and half laughing at stuff. So I think you could probably argue that. But
when I saw that you were in the hospital because you were sick, I was like, oh, that makes sense.
I know you called me right away. You're like, what's going on here? Then I'll get to you later. Okay, we'll talk. Little People, Big World guy. I don't know if you heard the question, but we were just saying or I guess who your favorite third chairs and people you don't like coming in there.
You just had a great joke and you ruined it.
I know I did. I kind of canceled that one. I'm sorry.
It's kind of his thing, but
I love Pat Ford. I think he's fantastic. Unlike Montante, Mutt, I think is kind of. I could care less when Mutt was on to begin. I didn't have any history with EEI or anything, but Mutt has started to grow on me. So I've begun enjoying Mutt more and more. Julie is awful. Sorry, Mike. And Steve from Gloucester is terrible. The second he brought
come on.
Oh no.
Another Thiegel. Okay, this fat Thiegel with a mustache. Okay.
The second he brought out the Sopranos show thing that David did like a month before, like that was the nail in the coffin.
That's why he's funny. That's why he's good.
Also, I'm trying to grow. I have 2 children of Italian descent, and his cultural appropriation drives me up a wall. It's disgusting.
Could you imagine you have a kid, like 5 years, the kid starts speaking, and it's just a spitting image?
The list was like, "Dang."
That's upsetting. Would you put him in your bottom 4, like third chairs?
I mean, I love when he's on because I just texting my buddy like, "Jesus Christ, this is brutal."
So you like to hate him?
Yeah, 100%. I live for him.
It's tough.
I was originally like that with Tim Ridgels. I didn't really find too much.
Oh shit, forgot Tim Ridgels.
But now I actually love when he's in there. I love when Tim's in there now. Yeah, I don't know. He's growing on me for sure. We mentioned Little People Big World guy. You said you didn't listen to Kirk at EEI. I'm curious to how people found KMS. I mean, I grew up in the Boston area, so I listened to him on EEI. Is there anyone that just found him at Barstool, or I'll start with you, Travis. How did you find him?
No, I'm from the Boston area. I was on EEI and then Barstool.
Yep. Montante?
Barstool Radio Row at one of the Super Bowls like 5-6 years ago. I was expecting the black guy, Kirk Minifans. And I recognize the name. I look up, I see a skinny white guy, and he made me laugh a couple times, but didn't really think too much about it. And then, like maybe 8 months later, I saw the Kirk Minihane show was coming, and then I was like, "Oh shit, that was the white guy who I thought was going to be the kind of boring guy from Fox or CBS." Tuned in the first day. Steve, brought me in, and I was hooked ever since.
Yeah, Snell.
I'm just EEI. Like I think Travis was saying, just listening to EEI before Kirk ever got there. I think I started with Ordway and just I would listen all day. And then when Kirk got in the morning, he used to do weekends, like he said, and then he used to do some nights. And then when he got in, man, he just took over and it's never stopped.
Yeah. PRC?
Popped up on my feed on YouTube. I was big into Barstool.
Really?
Yeah. I was big into Barstool stuff. And then one day the live show just popped up and I checked it out. And then I just got hooked.
Do you remember when that was? Like how deep were they into the show?
It was it was late mid 21 about. Mm-hmm. So it was like at the end of COVID times. I was running out of stuff to watch on YouTube, and it just I'll give this a shot.
That is weird if you jumped into that time or like recently. Like you say someone jumped in tomorrow. They might just think that like Steve from Gloucester was like a co-host.
Right.
No,
it takes a while. Yeah.
Huh.
It takes a while to figure it out because there's a lot of reoccurring stuff when I was first watching it. And I'm not from that area. So I was like, the fuck is that? And so it was fun to research and learn about that. So it was cool jumping in like that.
Did you listen to old episodes?
Yeah. And I listen to old episodes at night now. Like I started the first one's on Spotify, and then I just been plowing through it. So
Plow on
pretty
through.
cool.
Kenny, what about you?
Me?
Yeah.
So I got lucky. Had a miserable commute, and the very first episode came out with the prank phone call to Curtatone, and I was just hooked. So
Yeah.
I've been listening ever since.
And Little People, Big World guy, what did you say? How did you find KMS?
I just said.
Oh, you already said just do Barstool?
I just said words.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I just screens on this stuff. I thought I was talking.
No, you're doing fantastic.
That was like an out of body experience. I was like, we just broke the Matrix by that.
I'm
Good.
far away, so that's probably why I can't see who's talking.
That's
Sorry.
unbelievable.
Let's go to the news of maybe not the news of the day, but the ESPN Cleveland stuff. Did you guys see this? They're trying to basically run a Jim Thome bit themselves. How do we feel about that? Snell?
I did not see this at all. When did they start doing this?
All right, well, we'll throw to you next. All right. How about Travis? How about you?
I saw it on Twitter. I saw Jim Thome's wife talking about how she did it once, and now people are reaching out, and they wanted $100 for her intern. That was the prize, and
Yeah.
they were calling her and making a big stink and bitching that she wouldn't have a little bit of fun. She did it once for something that went 38 hours. If that's their level of creativity, then yeah. Kirk's right. TV and radio is fucking dead.
Something got lost in that response from Andrea Thome. Thome, I don't know how to say it anymore.
Meaning what?
Thome.
Yeah,
She was like, I'm saying Coleman fucked me up forever on that.
Yeah,
and I have his jersey in my closet, right above my hat.
Great story.
Jim Thome.
I was gonna say, Snell, before you rudely interrupted.
Sorry.
She said that like he would normally have time to talk, but he's working one of his 3 jobs.
I caught this too. Yeah.
You just played like 15 years ago. I get he's a hardworking guy. That's like the glass half full. Jim Thome should have some extra time on his hands. Okay, you're very good. You're number 8 or 10 on the list for a reason. Number 8 on the list for a reason. Like, is that not concerning?
You don't know guys like that work and then they retire and it's been 3 months and they go out.
Work 1 job, not 3.
I assumed it was like
3 part-time jobs and he still gets the summer off.
He's not. He's not bartending though. Like, we gotta clarify what he's doing. He's probably
Wild if he was bartending.
MLB TV or some sort of local MLB thing. There's no way he's like working at Shaw's.
You never know when Billy Squire works construction.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that either. I'm just saying I don't think Jim Thome of all people is doing that.
No, he's like a consultant and he coaches high school.
That would make sense. See, there you go.
Yeah.
It's called motivation.
You have this. Okay, I was just concerned for a second. That's all.
What do you say, Little Bill? What was that?
Motivation, Montante.
No.
And he's from the Midwest. People in the Midwest just work themselves until they die. That's just our way of life here.
The ESPN guys, like, there's no way that they did not know about what had just happened 2 days before.
Oh,
like,
100%.
What the fuck? What are they thinking? Are they looking for a radio war? Is that what they're trying to do? They're trying to insert themselves? It really doesn't make any sense.
They're dying and they're grasping at anything that they can fucking grab a hold of. That's what it is.
It's kind of peak radio, hitting that like 48 hours later. After all the fervor over it, died down, and it's like, try to do your own like fucking 2 out of 10 version of it.
Not to defend them, but if one of your best players in franchise history, right? Not to offend you, Kyle, or they used to be called the Indians. I know it's tough, but
I still call them that.
Like again, you have nothing. This is the dog days. We have spring training. Browns football's done. That thing's going viral. You have to cover that. You have to.
But you can cover. You can cover it in a way.
Yeah, you can cover it without just trying to, like clone it.
I guess I'm kind of defend. I get what it's corny, definitely. But what else would you do?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what ESPN.
Radio. I mean,
Oh, Darius Garland scored 23 points last night in Brooklyn. Let's talk about that. No, let's make a stupid bit about fucking Jim Thome.
Yeah, but when the wife's coming out saying she's getting like, she's had enough of this and crap like that, I feel like that's when, it's enough's enough. Like it's just.
And she kind of came across as a baby during that too.
You think so?
No,
I love her show.
Women's Day, Montante.
Nah, not for me. I don't do that. Every day's Women's Day for me.
Their premise was so predatory too. It wasn't just like, hey, like try to guess Jim Thome's name. It was like they gave an intern $100 if he could stalk Jim Toney and get an interview booked.
Right.
So he like called the dude's school like 100 times, called like her like 100 times. Like the premise was way off as well.
Yikes! Yeah,
for $100,
that's tough.
Stupid. Yeah.
It's also a little weird to go on like a public platform and then say like you're sick of the publicity. That's kind of a weird thing to do as well. It's kind of like the Queen or the fucking Prince of England did that recently. What was that they went on that like leave us alone tour or whatever? It's kind of like the same idea.
Meghan Markle.
Yeah, Meghan Markle.
Yeah,
it's like kind of like the same idea. It's like if you want to be left alone, just get the fuck out of the limelight.
Excellent point.
That's fair. All right. I guess we'll just move on before we get out of here. Before I throw it to anybody else before we get out of here. Official predictions here on the Kirk Minihane Show Network. How long does this last? Does anybody get canceled? Does anybody be banned? I know Kirk has said that pretty much anybody can come on here and give it an attempt. So I'm gonna throw it to you, Montante, somebody who we probably got to worry about the most.
No, you don't have to worry. But that was a funny joke that I made. The timing was perfect. Peak funny per usual. Nothing new there. Funny guy. I here to exceed my expectation. I actually think he's in this for the long haul. I just hope that Menor can stay there and be the kind of friendly competition. I think this goes until the show's done.
All right, PRC.
Nothing's ever promised. Let's have fun.
All right, Kenny.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess for as long as Kirk's spite against Menor lasts, I mean, I hope it. And then hopefully Menor just continues this kind of like North Korea sort of thing going on over there, saying he's going to destroy the Kirk Minihane Show Network and all that. But I think it'll go on for a little while anyway.
Snell.
Well, one of the things you said, Mick, was that that Kirk is letting almost everyone on here. I mean, but it's not everyone. Like he wouldn't let me on here, and I know he wouldn't let a couple other people on here. So it's not like everyone can just move over. So that's not really accurate.
I think maybe your alliance to the KMN and the Menor's Minifan Network, maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know that, but I'm just saying that might have something to do with it.
Maybe, yeah. But Kirk said he didn't want me on here on one of the shows, so I mean, he did say that.
All right. Little People, Big World guy. What about you?
It'll continue. It I think really is how long does Menor's fight for? Truthfully.
So, do you guys think that strictly just Kirk versus Menor's here? You don't think he actually has a maybe a site for his channel and is trying to actually grow it or produce more of it? You think it's just a screw with Menor?
100%. I think he likes fucking with people.
I think it's. I don't. I'm not
he
saying
definitely loves to fuck with people.
But I think two things are true. Like I think
doesn't mean that that's the only reason he's doing it.
Right.
That's the way Kirk does things. He doesn't come out and say like, "Oh, great job, guys." He kind of will shit on you a little bit, and that's what gets you into the limelight.
He's never cared about growing it before, so I don't know why he'd care about growing it now. But he loves, like spiting people. So,
Yeah. All right. Well, does anybody else have anything before we get out of here? You want to say anything? Any comments? Any questions? Anything for us, please?
Montante, how come you're not doing a political show on this network?
As we mentioned before, we want to keep this thing on the. On
you can
YouTube.
do it. You can record it. Doesn't have to be live, and you can edit it in such a way or conduct yourself in such a way that you're not going to get fucking pulled.
No, I can't conduct myself. I have certain takes on the certain communities that I say. You can listen to Montante's World. I think we're on Rumble exclusively and Apple, which was for the time being. But no, I've really no interest in that. I like coming on these. I don't want to do my own thing.
Okay. Anyone else? We good?
Travis, no, see us out here.
With what?
You tell me.
Give us a take, Travis. Hit us with something.
Final take to send people off to a weekend.
Final take. I think Jersey Jerry was the biggest loser last week because no one paid attention to his stream.
That's fair. All right.
Well,
all right.
Pleasure, guys.
Thank you for joining us, everybody. Next week, BA will be back. You're going to have the normal host, Barstool Advisor. It'll be Mike and the Minifans. No more Mick and the Minifans. You don't have to worry about that. But thank you, Kirk. Thanks for having us on. And thank you, fellas, for jumping on. Take it easy, guys.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Another tough day at work today. Stephen Kirk think I suck. Throw back a few wobbly pops, feeling down on my luck. And the turns ruin every show. But it's do